My dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, people often think strength looks loud, like applause, trophies, stages, or attention. But the truth, real strength, the kind that transforms a woman from the inside out, is built in silence. It's in those quiet mornings where no one's watching, yet she still shows up. It's in the nights she chooses discipline over distraction, purpose over pressure. Nobody claps for her when she turns down things that don't align with her values. Nobody sees the tears she's wiped alone or the battles she's fought behind closed doors, but that's where her power is forged, not in the spotlight, but in the stillness. It's in the decision to keep moving forward, even when her heart is heavy. It's in the choice to say no, to chaos and yes, to peace, even when it's lonely. That kind of strength doesn't scream. It whispers, "I will not break." She's not driven by attention. She's driven by alignment. And the world might not understand it. They might question her quiet. They might call her distant. But that's because they don't see the fire she carries inside. A fire she didn't ask for, but one she learned to tend in silence. You see, a winner woman isn't trying to prove anything anymore. She's not looking for approval, validation, or someone to tell her she's enough. Because deep down, she's already done that work. She's already sat with the pain, questioned her worth, faced her fears, and walked herself back into the light. That kind of resilience doesn't need to be broadcasted. It doesn't ask for likes, follows, or affirmation. It just is, steady, grounded, and rooted in who she's become through the dark. And when she does show up, when she finally steps into the room, she carries a presence that silence gave her, not arrogance, but awareness. Not noise, but depth. People feel something when she speaks, not because she's trying to impress, but because her words come from somewhere real, a place of survival, of healing, of truth. She knows her path wasn't easy, and she doesn't glamorize the struggle. But she honors it because it made her who she is. That's why she doesn't crave the spotlight anymore. She knows that the real glow-up was internal. The real wins weren't the ones others celebrated, but the ones she survived alone. So if you're in a season right now where it feels quiet, don't panic. That silence, that's your sanctuary. That's where you're being shaped. Strength isn't what you show the world. Strength is what you carry when the world isn't looking. You know what's powerful. A woman who chooses herself, again and again, no matter how many times life tries to make her forget her worth. It's not selfish, it's sacred, because choosing herself means refusing to betray her soul for temporary comfort or false love. It means walking away from anything that asks her to shrink, stay silent, or settle, and that's not easy. It's hard to look at people you care about and say, "I love me more." It's painful to leave places you once begged to belong to. But a winner woman knows peace is the price of alignment. She knows that not everyone will understand her growth, and that's okay, because she's not living to be understood. She's living to be free. And freedom begins the moment you stop asking others to choose you and start choosing yourself with unshakable certainty. There are days she doubts, days where the noise gets loud, and the world pulls at her from every angle. Be softer, be quieter, don't be so much. But she's already tried that, and it nearly destroyed her. She knows what it feels like to abandon herself for acceptance, and she'll never do it again. Because every time she chooses herself, she reinforces her power. She realigns with her truth. She reminds her heart, "You are enough," even when they walk away. That's not arrogance, it's healing. That's not ego, it's boundaries. And it takes more strength to stand alone in your truth than to sit comfortably in someone else's version of you. She's not perfect. She's not always fearless, but she's committed to growth, to peace, to her own damn self. And that's what keeps her grounded when everything else feels like a storm. And here's the most beautiful part. The more she chooses herself, the more the world rises to meet her. Opportunities align. Energy shifts. People who truly see her start to show up, not because she chased them, but because she became someone worth showing up for. She doesn't chase love anymore. She attracts it by being her full, unapologetic self. She doesn't beg for space, she creates it. She doesn't water herself down to be digestible. She stands tall, knowing that anyone who can't handle her truth isn't meant to hold it. And every single time she looks in the mirror and says, "I choose you," she becomes more magnetic, more radiant, more powerful, not because life got easier, but because she got clearer. Choosing herself didn't just change her, it saved her, and now she's unstoppable. There's something rare and powerful about a woman who rises not to outshine, but to uplift. She doesn't walk into rooms to prove she's better. She walks in to remind others they're powerful too. She's not here to compete, because she knows that another woman's light doesn't dim hers. In fact, it reflects it. The mindset of a winner woman is not threatened by someone else's beauty, brilliance, or success. She's inspired by it. And because she's done the inner work, she doesn't feel the need to tear others down to stand taller. She understands that her rise is not just for her. It's for every woman who has ever been told she's too much, not enough, or out of place. She doesn't rise to silence others. She rises to remind them that they can too. You won't find her gossiping behind backs or silently hoping someone fails. That's not her energy. She knows how heavy it is to carry bitterness, and she refuses to let it weigh her down. Instead, she celebrates others out loud, even when her own season hasn't arrived yet. She claps even when no one clapped for her, because her heart isn't rooted in comparison. It's rooted in compassion. That's what makes her unstoppable. She knows that competing with others is a distraction from her purpose, and she guards her energy with precision. Every moment she used to waste trying to measure up, she now invests in becoming her highest self. She understands that success is not a pie where someone else's slice means less for her. There's enough room for everyone, especially those who know their worth without proving it. And when she wins, she doesn't just stand at the top alone. She builds bridges, she opens doors, she reaches back, because she remembers what it felt like to be unseen, unheard, and underestimated. And now that she's standing in her power, she refuses to gatekeep healing, confidence, or elevation. She's not driven by ego. She's driven by impact. She wants her story to be someone else's survival guide. She wants her journey to remind others that it's possible. That's the difference. That's the mindset of a woman who rises to elevate. She knows the crown isn't real unless it lifts others too. And that kind of energy, it's unmatchable, it's unforgettable, and most of all, it's untouchable.